Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. Very honored to be connecting in with you. And for those of you who are joining us, last week we had announced that on Tuesday, December 5th, we were launching our book, The Grandmother Legacies. And we're very excited to bring that to you. We're doing a special best-selling launch for a few days, and many of you leaned in. And it was wonderful to be on the show live with many of our co-authors sharing from their heart a little bit about this project and about what they are bringing to the world, and a taste of some of the wisdom and legacy that was passed on to them that they were passing on to each of you, each listener. So today, we are very excited to share some of the results of all of that. So not only did we have the amazing opportunity to launch the Grandmother Legacies last week, December 5th, and this was a year-long project of coming together and really digging deeply into our roots and our legacies that have been richly poured into us by our grandmothers, and what we are bringing forward in that. And within 24 hours, we became a #1 bestseller in multiple categories and in multiple countries, which has made it actually a #1 international bestseller. So we thank you for being part of that, and what a privilege and opportunity to be able to bring these amazing stories and messages to an international market. We were very committed from the beginning to help it get into as many hearts and lives as possible. So I want to thank you for being part of that and allowing us the honor and the privilege to share this amazing book out with all of you. And for those of you who have leaned in and did take the opportunity to purchase the book, it was Kindle that we released. You can still find it on Amazon, and it's called The Grandmother Legacies, and that is plural. And you can find it on Amazon in multiple countries. We will be releasing the print version soon, so hopefully between now and Monday the 18th, we'll have that print version available for those of you who like the print versions. Just want to give everyone the logistics. And part of what I wanted to talk today with both you and with our co-authors that we have joining us is kind of what it was like, not only why they decided to be part of this project, but as they got to witness and be part of sharing it out, what was that like, and how did they process that, and what was it, what touched them as they got to be part of that? And for you listeners, I want you to think about those moments in time when you had something that was so dear to your heart that you worked on it for years, or a period of time, and finally it was birthed, and you got to bring it forward. You got to actually bring it into reality, share it with the world. That's what it was like for us as co-authors with this. We got to bring this forward and share it with the world and experience and witness their response to that, and they're embracing it and leaning in and seeing it create this ripple effect out there. And ultimately, what I have found and what I've heard back from those who've leaned in is that not only did these stories inspire them and encourage them and cause some reflection on the legacies that have been passed on to them, but also inspired them to purposely and thoughtfully create their own legacy with great purpose and great love and great meaning, being very mindful of what they are choosing to bring forward and echo out into the world. And that's my challenge or extra credit bonus opportunity that I want to share with all of you as listeners as we have our conversation today, and you get to hear different voices and hearts around this book and what this experience has been like and some of what you'll find in their chapters, I want you to be listening inwardly too and thinking about the legacy, the imprint that you are leaving and you're creating right now, because we do this with every choice we make, every way that we choose to spend our time, energy, and gifts has an effect. It makes a difference. It touches other people's lives and it leaves an imprint. And I believe we can do that in a purposeful way, really choosing to echo those things out that matter most to us. And I want to encourage you as you enjoy this time together, as you listen in inwardly and outwardly to us, really what is being spoken into your heart? What are you being called to bring forward? What is the legacy message that when you have passed from your time here, what is it that you want to leave behind, that you hope people share about you, that if somebody were to write a book about you and your legacy, you would hope would be within those pages? So you take a moment and just pause. Breathe that in. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Both hands on the wheels. Eyes open, alert, just inwardly tuning in. No texting and driving. We want each and every one of you safe and enjoying the holiday seasons. And for those of you who are able to, though, I'm going to invite you to put both feet on the ground, really feeling it supporting you. One hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth like through a straw. Do that again. Close your eyes this time. And see how big you can make your belly. And then out through your mouth like through a straw. Beautiful. This type of breathing can lower your cortisol levels, bring you very present, reduce stress, and be very calming and energizing at the same time. And that bringing you very present can leave you open to being who you want to be in that moment and choosing what matters to you. So in this stillness, in this space that we've created with our breathing, I want to ask you, what is it that you need today? In light of what we shared and what we're going to be talking about, their grandmother legacies, and in fact, your own legacy, what is it that is speaking into your heart and that you need that will support you to bring your legacy forward? Breathe that in, because I'm going to add on to this. So not only what is speaking into your heart and you need, but are willing to receive, because you have choice in what you lean into. You have choice in what you say yes to. So I'm going to invite you to not only recognize what you need, but being willing to receive and let others walk beside you. And even feel their support. Beautiful. So go ahead and receive that information, what it is that's speaking on your heart that you need and are willing to receive. When you have that information, go ahead and come back into the room. Another deep breath, opening up your eyes, fully present. And I invite you to write that down. It is so easy in the busyness of life, especially in this season, to lose track of what we need or forget or not listen and not even recognize when it's right in front of us. So I'm going to encourage you to be proactive, to be actively looking for it with anticipation, those things that you need and are willing to receive. And tuning inwardly to our conversation, tuning in to see what is here for you to support you on your journey, because it is not an accident that you tuned in today. It's not an accident that you are listening now. So there is something here for you And I invite you to be willing to receive it. Breathe that in. Beautiful. And I'm going to go around our virtual room. We have 3 of our amazing co-authors joining us today from the Grandmother Legacies. And I'm just going to ask them what was laid on their heart when we paused for a moment and listened that they would like to share and reflect back to you. So Danielle, could I have you share what was on your heart?
Yes. So actually, it is the joy of being together with you today. As I'm in Europe with my family and my tribe here, which I love and adore, it's very good as well to be connected with you and the listener in US. And it's also the joy of ending a complicated year for me in the best possible way, with joy, blessings, and gratitude.
Beautiful. Well, I share that joy and reflect that back to you, and just feel great support and connection. So very, very happy to have you joining us today. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Renee, how about you? What was laid on your heart when we paused for a moment and listened?
Well, I was glad to have that moment of reflection, and I realized in my heart that it's a new season for so many of us. And in the new season, what is it you need to let go of so that you can fully embrace the new season? So I was thinking of all those things that may have been in the past that have held me back or you back or any of us back from going into a new season and just embracing that new door that is opening in our lives to do amazing new things.
I love that. Really preparing to go through that door and releasing and embracing. Just beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Glad to have you joining us today. And Barbara, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Well, in thinking about what I want to send out and what I want to receive, it's really the same thing. I'd like to send out to everybody love, light, and laughter, and I'd also like to receive the same.
Ah, I love that. Love, light, and laughter, full circle. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Excited to have you joining us. And listener, what was laid on your heart? What was pulling at you when we paused for a moment and listened? Sometimes that still, small, quiet, but powerful and full of wisdom voice is missed when we are hustling and bustling around. And so when we pause and listen, there's great wisdom and encouragement that can come our way. So I want to encourage you as we go into our first commercial break here to stay present. That these 2-minute commercials this time I actually claim for you. To stay present, to really invite in what is being spoken into your heart, to listen and receive. And when we come back, we're going to be talking on a heart level about our legacies and this journey that we've been on together. And I know there's something rich for you in this conversation. So enjoy these next 2 minutes, richly dig in, and we will look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Voice America Women. Your passion starts here. Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday, transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com and make the most of an incredible life transformation.
For women, the pressure to achieve is stronger, the work hours longer, and the struggle for respect and authority more complex than ever. You want guidance on how to succeed, and you are not alone. You're invited to take your coffee break with Game Changers on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern for our special series, Game Changing Women. Powerful women leaders will help you make sense of it all, analyze how you can change the game, and share their playbooks. Game Changing Women, presented by SAP on the Business Channel.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you. You're going to have opportunities throughout our shows for these 2-minute moments. And I really encourage you to use them to process what is being spoken into your heart and spirit on a cellular level, really giving yourself those 2 minutes to pause and breathe and integrate what is being shared with you that is serving. It will be so powerful when you build that practice into your life and into the show experience, because instead of things getting added to your to-do list, you're actually getting to process them real time and let them become part of you as you go back out in the world. So I'm going to encourage you each time we go to our commercial break to really lean into those 2 minutes just for you to really process, receive, and incorporate. Beautiful. Very excited to have you joining us, and welcome back as we continue our conversations with some of our amazing co-authors from The Grandmother Legacies, available on Amazon. For those of you who are wondering where you can find this beautiful book, it is on Amazon, and it's called The Grandmother Legacies. And what I invited our authors to do, we have 3 of them joining us today, is to really talk about why this project called to them, why they wanted to be part of the Grandmother Legacies, and what did it feel like as they not only got to be part of bringing this book forward, but sending it out into the world and seeing it received and climbing up the best-selling rankings to reaching number 1 in multiple categories in multiple countries. What was that like? So, Barbara, I would love to have you start the conversation, and I want to formally introduce you so they know a little bit more about you, beyond the love, light, and laughter, which I am sure they felt, but I do want to expand on that. So, Barbara Gross has a Bachelor of Science and a Master's degree. She has a background in both teaching and extensively in the software industry. She's currently a best-selling, I skipped the line there. You're currently a business development manager, and you have this huge track record of success in the sales industry with Fortune 500 companies. You are now a best-selling author, so we're very excited to announce that, and a TV show host of the humorous Adventures with Barbara. You're absolutely passionate about helping you, listeners. She's absolutely passionate about helping you find your joy and humor and choosing to see that in life. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Barbara Gross to the show. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Rebecca, very much. It's an honor to be on the show. When I first heard about the topic, Grandmother Legacies, I was immediately drawn in, and I felt compelled that I could write a chapter about my grandmother, because as I wrote it, normally people see me laughing, but then as I was writing it, I was also crying. But I tell people, well, it's good cry. So when I cry, it's usually good cry. So my grandmother touched me in so many ways that I'm just so proud and honored to be a part of this book and experience.
Well, we love having you in this book and sharing and honoring your grandmothers in such a beautiful and powerful way. And I'd love just to know, what did it feel like as you saw the posts and you saw the book received out there and kind of reaching different countries and climbing up the ranks? I haven't had a chance to ask each of you your thoughts about that, so I would love to have you share.
Well, it's just so very exciting to have your thoughts shared with so many people worldwide, and to have your message shared with so many people, and to be able to touch people authentically. Yes,
beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. I so appreciate that. And in our next segment of our show, we're going to actually share a little bit of what's in each of these chapters and the title, so be looking forward to that. But I want to go through and introduce each of our amazing co-authors to you that are joining us today. So Danielle Nistor is a messenger and divine connector for the divine feminine. She's an international speaker and leads groups to sacred places for healing and transformation. She's a best-selling author and absolutely passionate about helping you shine your authentic self. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Danielle Nistor to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm so honored to be again with you. It's wonderful.
You are very, very welcome. Love having you here today. And I'd love for you to share why this project called to you, and some of what it felt like as you watched it be received by the world as we got to birth and bring that forward.
So for me, it was the title who embraced me immediately. I felt it is a very wonderful opportunity to bring my homage, my honoring to my grandmothers, and especially speaking to my grandmother, who seems that actually she died in the same day that I was born. And she was a very, very interesting woman.
And what a powerful connection to have in your legacy with her.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing, and just curious if you had a response as you saw the book out there and being received, and perhaps you even read some of the reviews or had someone reach out to you about the chapter that you wrote. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
So through my gift, what I felt was that the book was very well received by these grandmothers, the ones that are not between us, and also by their family, their relatives, it is a way of understanding their lives in different countries, in different situations better. And this is important for all of us because we are talking about our roots.
Yep. So, and we lost you there just for a moment. So we were talking about our histories and our legacies. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Danielle, for sharing. I appreciate that and letting us know as you tuned in what you felt that response was and reflected back to us. Just beautiful. And then Renee, I'd love to introduce you as well. So Renee Sands is a certified life coach, registered nurse with 40 years of experience helping people with their health. She is a world traveler, a former radio show personality who's absolutely passionate about helping you understand those spiritual roots of disease and then provide real life solutions so you can step into a healthier, thriving self. Please lean in and warmly welcome the amazing Renee Sands to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, thank you so much I feel honored to be included in such a wonderful group of ladies and to be able to tell a story that I believe if I hadn't had the opportunity to write this chapter may very well have never been told.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, because something that I found so amazing about this book is it was very personal to me in honoring my grandmothers who've so impacted the work that I get to do in the world. It was so meaningful to me. And then to be able to share the journey with you and with our other co-authors as we brought together these rich legacy stories from around the world, different cultures, different parts of the world, different journeys, and yet the lessons and the legacies in each of these stories were so powerful and transformational, regardless of whether they were your legacy or another's. Like, they became part of my life and fed into me and were transforming to me. I was so richly blessed by them. And I appreciate that, because your willingness to share that legacy that perhaps never would have been shared or told has richly blessed me. And I know each of our readers that have leaned in. And listeners, I want you to think about that. These legacy stories, these histories that we have, perhaps we know part of it or all of it, and we don't necessarily pass it on. And there's such a richness and blessing that can touch others' lives when we're willing to share those stories, that history, and that rich wisdom with future generations. Thank you for being willing to dig so deep and share so beautifully your legacy chapter. And I'd love for you to share, Renee, when you saw it, because it's one thing when we have it within our group, right? Rebecca's read it and we've talked about it with our co-authors, but then, and perhaps some family members, but then when you share it out with the world, it's a different kind of experience. So I'd love to get your thoughts on what that was like for you.
Well, I really appreciate that there's an interest in persons of an older generation. I found, particularly in the States, that people of age are not revered, and there's not the honor towards them and towards the life that they've lived. So the fact that this book would be so well received is because it's a history book of some that are not with us, but it's certainly those of another generation and who have lived a long, rich life. And it's very encouraging that there's still interest in individuals in their latter parts of lives and what they've contributed to this world and to all of us in their lifetime. So I'm very excited to see that has been the response.
Beautiful. And so, and these are, it's such a rich history, book from around the world of these personal journeys and stories, but each of them were so uniquely who they were in the journey. And such richness in getting to walk beside them and have some of their journey shared and poured into us in the way that each of you leaned in to share. So just beautiful. I love the multi-generational experience of it and the great honor and love each of you had for those that you were sharing about and bringing forth. Truly beautiful. And listeners, as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, so remember these are 2 minutes just for you, I invite you to really think about your history and your legacy and perhaps make a couple notes of somebody who has poured into you that you could honor, celebrate, or thank. And we will look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
This is the Voice America Women's Channel, where your success is limitless.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Relationship issues? Anxious? Parenting challenges? No more. Learn to live your best life. Tune into Straight Talk with top therapist, relationship, and anxiety expert Sandra Reish. Learn to transform your challenges into effective solutions. Whether it's relationships, parenting, anxiety, or other traps, Sandra will show you how you can live the life of your dreams. Listen live every Thursday afternoon at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog, Press Pass? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective. Plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at vapresspass.com. That's vapresspass.com. VA Press Pass by Voice America. All access, all the time.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you and that you had a few things come to your heart and mind that you could write down, that perhaps a legacy that has been passed on to you or one that you are wanting to bring forward. And really thinking about those people that have impacted your life. And this is a great time of year to acknowledge that, to thank them, to honor what has been passed on to you and celebrate it, and then honor and celebrate what you in turn are choosing to echo forth, to bring forth in life, that legacy and imprint that you are bringing to the world. We've been talking with our Grandmother Legacies authors, and this is this full series where we've been highlighting the book that we just released last week, The Grandmother Legacies, and having some heart-to-heart conversations with co-authors from this powerful book. And I'm going to have each of our co-authors that are joining us today just share the title of their chapter and just give you a taste or a feel of what you can look forward to experiencing in their chapters. So you're getting kind of a living, breathing experience of this amazing book. So Danielle, would you please share the title of your chapter and something they could look forward to in it?
Yes, gladly. So the title of my chapter is Honoring My Feminine Roots. And as it was not easy to choose just one grandmother, I'm actually sharing the story about three grandmothers, and one of them, the one that I told you before, has an extraordinary story, and actually she became from a widow, war widow, the most important businesswoman in the village and around, without knowing how to count, which to me is a miracle.
I love that. How powerful to be able to rise to that place and not even knowing how to count. So no matter what, it's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Renee, what is the title of your chapter and something they can look forward to in it?
Well, the title of my chapter is Shifting Sands. And it's really the story of a family that went to Africa back in the 30s and how we ended up in Africa because my father's journey took us there as a family, and therefore we actually lived out as children our childhood and education and everything in Africa. So it's an amazing story of the hardship that they went through living in a country that was very underdeveloped and still in many ways is underdeveloped, and how it brought out so much character in them, that life of hardships and lots of joy as well.
Yes. Yeah, there's a beautiful range of that, the challenges and the love and the joy and the choices made. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And absolutely. And Barbara, share your chapter title and a little bit of what they could look forward to in your section.
So the name of my chapter is My Loving and Light-Filled Grandmother. And basically, I'm not only the youngest of the immediate family, I'm the youngest of the whole extended family. And what my grandmother showed by example is the true meaning about unconditional love. And I would tag along with her everywhere. And we would always play games, and she would, lose on purpose. And I just felt I was invincible. And then one time she won by accident, and she started cracking up laughing. And I was just livid that she could laugh at this. And it just turned out to be amazingly funny. And that's, again, part of my humor. Like, maybe at the time it wasn't that funny to me, but in hindsight, it's hysterical.
I love that when we can look through that different lens. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I would love, ladies, for you to think back on your chapters and think back on the journey that we've had together. And as we're connecting heart to heart with our listeners today, is there something on your heart, like a piece of advice that you would like to bring forth and share, something that they can take with them as they lean in and go back out into the world? I'd just love to see if something is placed on one of your hearts to share.
Well, I could just say that we all have a choice. How do we react to any situation? And, so I choose to, react with love and light and laughter. And I hope to put that out there, that, maybe after something happens, take a pause and then think about the intention, and then, to lead with love and light and laughter, just like my grandmother showed me.
Beautiful. Thank you. Danielle or Renee, did you have something on your heart, a piece of advice that you would like to share with our listeners today?
Well, what comes to mind for me is that through the life of my family and my father, that the most important thing that you can develop in life is character. It's more important than money or accumulating objects or titles or wealth. If you are not spiritually wealthy and you're spiritually poor, that is a real devastation in life. So they chose to remain, to always maintain their character and to remain spiritually rich through their life.
I love that we get to make that choice no matter what and build that character. And it's not dependent on those other things. Beautiful. Thank you. And Danielle, I believe I heard you as well, that you had something on your heart to share with our listeners today.
Yes, for me, the legacy coming from my grandmother is this resilience and faith and strength that is given by your connection with the Creator and also with the land, the earth, and the family, and the things that there is that spark of light in each of us that can create the miracle of its own life at any given moment if we choose so.
And so making that choice to lean into it. Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing. And listeners, as I'm reflecting on the book and the rich experience of experiencing it grow over a year and leaning into each chapter as it comes together, and the rich experience of the diverse voices and experiences and legacies and messages that are brought forth in this book and histories. I love how Renee shared histories, and they're a bit within this book. I think what I felt echo in my heart and spirit over and over is that we get to make these choices and we can choose what we echo out, that it absolutely matters how we show up in our life. And what I kind of witnessed in these various chapters is the choices that people made and chose to share the why behind it, chose to share their life on a day-to-day basis with others, the journey of it. And there's such a richness in that. And when I reflected back on my grandmothers, one of the biggest gifts I was given is that they walked beside me, not just as a grandmother, but also as a woman, that I got to experience them both as a grandmother figure, but also as a human, as a woman, taking steps, overcoming different challenges and choices and losses and celebrations. And one of the most profound things I was taught by them is to remember to pause in the highs in life and the lows in life, and to remember to give myself time to process on a cellular level and be extra kind to myself. In fact, one of my grandmothers, before she would end every single conversation, she would remind me, she'd go, "Rebecca, now you know my health is fragile and I can go at any time." And it was. And she goes, "So I want you to make me a promise." Like a little bit of guilt, but okay, Grandma. I promise. She goes, "I want you to promise me that you will take care of my granddaughter. Know that I have loved deeply and lived deeply and been loved deeply. I'm at peace, but you have promised to take care of my granddaughter," which was me. She's very good at taking care of others. The stretch was to remember to pause and take care of myself too. So I'm very grateful for her wisdom and passing that legacy on to me. And I want to pass that on to all of you listeners, that reminder to pause and give yourself time to process on a cellular level. Give yourself time to take care of you and make that promise to yourself. Build that trust that you can trust you to take care of you and build those things that matter most. As we go into this next 2-minute moment, I invite you to pause, breathe deeply, and really make that commitment and that promise to yourself, and think about knowing that. What is it that you choose to bring forth? What is the legacy you are looking to bring forward and share on a day-by-day basis with those in your life? And we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
Tune in to the Just Jan TV show at justjantvshow.com. Visionary women's leader Jan Jorgensen is inspiring, practical, and visionary. Jan brings us everyday transformational emerging leaders, courageously changing the world by speaking and living their truth. Sit around the table with us for profound feminine wisdom, insights, and connection. Be sure to join us at justjantvshow.com. New episodes are every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at justjantvshow.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com, and make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
The Voice America Women's Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you. And as we come back together, I talked with our amazing guests behind the scenes, and I just asked them if they felt complete, or was there something more on their heart that they wanted to make sure and share with you today. And a couple of them felt like, yes, I have something more on my heart I want to pass on and share to our beautiful listeners today. So I'd love to start with you, Renee, and give you the opportunity to share what has been placed on your heart.
Well, I just would like to leave with a statement of make sure that you love somebody and let them know how much they're loved every day. Especially if it's someone in an older generation. You don't know, any of us, how much longer we have on this earth. And so I just want to say it's so important to show a gesture of love every day.
I love that. A beautiful practice to add into our life. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Danielle, did you have something on your heart to share?
Yes, and actually it is on the same note as the advice coming from Renee. It is the fact that the time matters. And even if our grandmothers are not still around us, let's look around. There is always an auntie, a soul auntie. Like I have this old neighbor who is 95, an exceptional woman, that I had the grace to spend half an hour just looking into her beautiful blue eyes and holding her hand and having this powerful connection with what really matters. And this is completely healing to our feminine soul and to what we are here to bring, who we are, our authentic self.
Yes. Allowing time and space for those rich connections and that echoing back to others and echoing out how much we love, how extraordinary people that we meet in our lives are, and letting them know. I think sometimes we meet people and connect with them, and they lift our spirits and they make us smile. And when we think of them, we feel warmth in our heart, but we don't always take that moment to let them know and reflect that back to them. And so lift somebody's spirits and remind them of the incredible gift that they are. So I just underline what was shared, that we remember to do that, even in the busyness, that we take those 30 seconds, a minute, and we share that gift back and let others know, because we don't know. We know we have today. We plan on tomorrow. We hope for tomorrow. But we have today. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. And so I encourage us to do things today that matter, that we touch another life in a powerful and authentic way, and let people know that they matter, that they've made a difference. For those of you who are wanting more and would love to add that book to your collection, I'm going to remind you of the title. It's called The Grandmother Legacies. It is available on Amazon in multiple countries. Again, that's The Grandmother Legacies. Right now, it's available on Kindle, and hopefully the plan by Monday the 18th, it will be available in print. We're working on that in the background, and would love to make that available and have it reach as many people as it can encourage and inspire. Now you've gotten a taste of the heartbeat of our co-authors and sharing a little bit of what you will find in this book. And one of my other grandmothers used to make flower pens. And those are those pens, like a ballpoint pen, that you have that silk flower attached on the top. And she used to make these for different holidays and tied into themes. And it was her way of brightening someone's day. And I remember looking up one day, because she loved flowers, and I've inherited that love from her. And I saw all of these flowers of different colors and textures. And it hit my heart that this is us, that each of us has our own color, our own fragrance, our own season, our own place in the world, with different ways that we shine out, different scents that we bring to life. And all of these beautiful colors and textures around the world create this powerful tapestry, this beautiful garden. And that's a vision my grandmother gave to me. And I want to pass this on to you, that each of you has your own fragrance, your own color, your own beauty that you bring to those around you. Beautifully shining, powerfully sharing. And when one of us hides our blossom, when we hold back, the garden becomes less vibrant and we all miss out. So I want to encourage you to be willing to share your beautiful blossom, your beautiful gifts and talents and abilities and legacies and wisdom and gifts with the world, shining brightly for all to see. That's one of the biggest gifts you can give others, is the gift of you, letting them see you in full blossom and all the stages along the way. That as you go back out into the world, may you always choose, because it's a choice, be willing to bloom where you are planted and shine. Have a beautiful week, everyone, and I so look forward to talking to you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter,
next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.